Okay.
Okay, so I don't play the casino games because what you do, your decision, do not affect the result of the game. And I found this boring. Games like roulette and things like that. I like game of chances, but when you can do something, when you can take some decision based on probability of what is going to happen. So I prefer games like poker, like backgammon. There are games of chance, but you can do the best with the chance. You can take the good decision that in the long run lead you to have better results. But with this kind of games, casino games, we call in Italy giochi d'azzardo, that's gambling and just gambling. It's, to me, it's boring. And I would like to read the quotation about Pierre-Simon de Laplace, that is a French mathematician and philosopher that wrote a philosophical essay on probabilities that I put in my introduction. That is very, very important about the probabilities. My pronunciation is bad, but in any case, Laplace said, we ought always in the conduct of life to make the product of the benefit opted for by its probability, at least equal to the similar product relative to the loss. So you have to think what you can gain and the probability that you gain this. And it has to be more than the probability you lose and what you lose. But it is necessary, in order to attain this, to appreciate exactly the advantages, the losses, and their respective probabilities. For this, a great accuracy of mind, a delicate judgment, and a great experience in affairs is necessary. It's necessary to know how to guard oneself against prejudice, illusions of fear and hopes, and erroneous ideas of fortune and happiness with which the majority of people feed their self-love. So it's very difficult in life to judge, to take decision. In games, it's different. In game, you can really choose the right decision because you can really measure the probability. And maybe this is the reason because I like games, because it's much more, it's fairer than life. You know what could happen. You can, it's a quiet universe, better than happy, than life, the real life. So, because real life, maybe it's not a game, because you don't know the rules. You just live. And the point is, blackjack is interesting about probabilities. And now I will explain why I choose this subject of a game I don't play. I was in a casino playing a poker tournament, and a friend of mine that is a bad poker player, loser, started to play blackjack. And I watched him, and I realized he was playing very badly, even if I didn't never play, because he wasn't following the charts that tell you in any situation what you have to do. So blackjack is just a mechanical game. You have to know what to do, and if you do something different, you lose money. In the long run, you lose money. You can do nothing about that. And this guy was playing badly, and said, why you don't follow the chart, the tables? It's so clear. Why you want to lose money? You believe in that. Fool. It's much better to follow my instinct. How can you believe in this chart? Do you think they are right? Yes, I think they are right. And in my mind, I said, maybe one day I will check this chart, go through them, and demonstrate that they are correct. Some years passed, and then a friend of mine, a student in mathematics, came to me and said, I have to perform a thesis with my professor, and I decided to do something about games. Do you have any suggestion? Oh yes. What an occasion. What an occasion. Let's take the charts of blackjack and calculated them again. And so she did, the professor accepted. She got a degree in math with a thesis about these charts. And then we went further and realized this book. And the point is, there are many books about blackjack, many, hundreds of books about blackjack. Every book can tell you the rules. Every book can tell you the tables, what to do in any situation. But no one show you how these tables work, how are calculated. And our game was to demonstrate the math. We played with the math of blackjack more than blackjack. And do not worry, they are correct. We demonstrated, and in the book there is all the math, maybe too much, but they are really, really correct. And we had fun in demonstrating them. But we went a little bit further, because normally they say just that in this situation you have to do this and not to do this. But we calculated something more and say in any situation this is the right decision. How much does it cost another decision? Let's make an example. Let's make an example. For example, here, player has 17 and the dealer has 9. It's a bad situation for you. You're gonna lose the money, but your goal is to lose the less than possible. And when you are favorite one, you have to win the more than possible in the long run. So for example, 17 and player has 9. You have two possibilities, to stand or to eat, okay? In any case you lose, because this is a bad situation for you. But if you stand, you lose 0.42. Let's say you bet 1. In the long run, you lose 42% of what you bet. But if you eat, you lose 55. So playing, hitting in that situation is just like giving for free to the casino 13p. Every single bet you do, you give for free 13p. But there are some decisions that are even bigger the difference. Maybe you can donate it, but I don't think casinos need donations. And the point is, the margin of the casino, if you play correctly, if you follow the chart, the margin of the casino is very near. It's 0.5%. It's really, and why the casinos perform massively this game? Because people play wrongly, and they give maybe 10% instead of 0.5%. And even then, there are also the advanced techniques of counting cards, and if you perform that, you can even go in advantage about to the casinos. And in the 70s, in the 80s, there were teams, very famous teams, that beat the casinos. And when the casinos discovered it, they hit these people, and there is a famous movie about that that is called 21. In Italy it's called 21. I don't know the original name is 21, also in English. That is a true story narrated in a novel that in Italian is called blackjack club. It's very interesting. But this time has gone. You can't do that anymore. It's just if you want to play, you have to play because you like to play this game, and you have just follow the chart, the basic strategy of that. That's all. The margin you can play, paying very, very, very little. So it's really stupid to pay much more. That's all. That's all the idea of this game. And you can find all the mechanics of the game, but especially what is special, you can find charts of all the situations. In all specific situations, you can have a look at what you pay if you make the correct decision. That's all. Yeah. This is the book and the idea that are behind this book. No. The point is, if you really want to play the game, you have to adjust the chart because every single casino apply different rules. There are marginal rules that can be slightly different between casinos and casinos, and so you have some marginal decision to be changed. But it's really to go to 0.5 to 0.6%. So it's nothing to worry about. You just have to follow. And for example, I have performed a chart that I never saw in any other book. Let's see, maybe is, where is? No. That put together all the situation, yeah. And for example, in this chart, put together all the possible situations that can happen. The point is, if you really want to play the game, you have to adjust the chart because every single casino apply different rules. There are marginal rules that can be slightly different between casinos and casinos, and so you have some marginal decision to be changed. But it's really to go to 0.5 to 0.6%. So it's nothing to worry about. You just have to follow. And for example, I have performed a chart that I never saw in any other book. Let's see, maybe is, where is? No. That put together all the situation, yeah. And for example, in this chart, put together all any single rule can affect the casino margin by 0.1, 0.2%, no more. So, for example, some casinos, maybe in the States, the dealer looks at the second card before the decision of the player. So if they have blackjack, they declare before. So there are, just you have to adjust your, but if you want to take in account to change your basic strategy according to these little rules, you have to be really an expert. So first you have to learn the basic strategy, and when you are an expert, you need to go further with these details. So for normal people, it's too much. Also, we mentioned all the methods for counting cards, but it's not for normal people. It's just for professional. And as I said, there are no more the 70s and the 80s where the pioneers beat the casinos until the casino realized what's going to happen.
How have the casinos counted the people who set the counting the cards? What have they done to prevent?
They realized because at the beginning, when someone discovered the method that were in favor of because the point is, in each table you can choose how much to bet. And this is the only casino games where memory count, because if you play roulette, people think that the roulette ball have a memory, because maybe red can and now has to be black, because they think that there is memory inside this metal or plastic little ball. But in blackjack, memory counts really, because the cards that has already been dealt affect the probability of the cards that come next. So the more tens and aces there are in the deck, the more you are favorite, and there is a way to count while all the cards are dealt. And there is a quite difficult method, but if you realize that in a particular moment the deck is in favor of the player, normally it's, let's say, 0.5 in favor of the casino, but there are some moments that you have 2% in favor of the player, for example. You can change your bet. Instead of betting 1, you bet 5 or 10 accordingly, and the casinos with cameras realized that, and realized that there were teams of counters that went every time they worked like that. Let's say we are a team. I'm the big better, and you are the counter. Each one of you go to one table and start counting and just play the minimum in the table. When maybe she realized that his table is very favorable in that moment, she says something to me, I can, and I put a big bet, and in average I get money because it's in the game is in favor. But they realized, they realized, and they do not allow. It's nothing illegal counting, but they don't want you to do. Simply, they don't want you to do, and it's better not to go against them. And if you play online, you can't do anymore because it's like a shuffle every single.
It's like a fresh ticket every time.
And also in the casinos, they shuffle very often. So don't think about it.
Okay.
These times have gone.